Championship, baby. What a night. What a night to be a Jets fan. I am ecstatic. I am on cloud nine. I'm waiting for my buddy to join me. We got a little surprise guest popping in. Somebody you all know and love. I'm just waiting for him to show up. I think we fucking nailed it. I will be the first to admit that I was not happy with the Sauce pick. Hold on. I don't even want to talk anymore. I got to bring in my partner in crime, one of my very good friends. Welcome, NFL Chaos with Jeremy. On the West Coast, we have the luxury of having him up at almost 2 a.m. on the East Coast, as I am still partying like I'm Prince, and it's 1999. I'll throw it to you out of respect. What's your thoughts? I'm ready to go, and if I start talking, I may never let you in. So let me throw it to you first. What's your thoughts?
I'm gonna share a file with you.
Okay.
Let's see if. Oh, I don't know if it'll. Oh no! Wait a second. Let me share screen.
Go ahead. Whatever you got.
Yeah. Okay.
I tried to do a share screen today when I did my afternoon show at 3:00, and I couldn't get it going. I don't know.
Okay, so you have to select it now. Are you ready? Are you ready for 4 minutes right now? Though it's going to be very well worth it. I promise.
I have to add it to the stream.
No. Yeah. Well, add to the stream the thing I just shared.
Okay.
Can you see it?
I can.
Okay. So here we go.
The Jets traded up. And there's a ton of good guys on the board. And the Jets traded up, and there's so many good guys left on the board. Greg Lloyd is on the board. Jacoby Dean is on the board. We can do this. Shut up, baby. What'd we give, guys? What'd we give? Come on, Green Bean. What'd we give? Tell me what we gave up.
Were you on with 24/7 in the Green Bean feed?
What did we give up?
I was watching.
JJ? Are we taking JJ? Oh my God! Are we taking
so you were waiting for them to announce the compensation?
Yeah. This is when I found out there was a trade.
Okay. And I missed it. Hold on. This is what we traded.
First, I was thinking Lloyd and Dean, and I said, "Wait a second, JJ."
We gave up our second round, our 35th, and our 69th. We still have our 32nd, but we gave up our 35th and
32nd. I couldn't think straight.
I mean, we still have the 32nd, but I mean not the 32nd, the 35th. We still have the 38th. So tomorrow we have one pick. We still have 38. Oh my God.
Let me rush through it a little.
Hey, Jeremy, real quick.
Yeah.
Pause that real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
So, can you see my chat or no? Are you just in as a guest? Are you in? You can see the chat, right?
I'd have to go off of share screen. It's hard when you're sharing a screen.
All right, I'll add it now then. So today I went live at 3:00, and this guy named Yep came in, found me on like Jets YouTube, who was live at the time, and came in and was a very good contributor to the chat, and he followed the channel. And I also told him about your channel with NFL Chaos with Jeremy, and he enjoyed what I was doing. I told him when you and I get together, it's a really good show on top of the other people that you have. So we got a new follower today, and I threw him your way as well. And he was a really, really good contributor in the chat. So, yep, welcome back, man. Very happy to have you. And this is my buddy Jeremy, who pumps out a lot of good content as well. I think you'll enjoy his channel if you jump over there.
All right, man. Welcome. Yeah, I hope to get you. So I'm trying to fast forward to the good part.
Go ahead, man. I saw him pop in, and I wanted to acknowledge him.
No, that's
I thought it was really cool when I was like, how do I know you? And he's like, oh, I just searched like Jets like live now on YouTube and found you. And I was like, that's freaking awesome. That's pretty cool.
Freaking awesome.
I didn't know you could do that.
That's awesome. Yeah, people will find you, man.
I'm listening to Ryan. I didn't see that we got a third back. Okay, so we gave up 35 and 69, but we're going to get a third back. And you never know. That third, even if it's 80, might be the same guy we wanted at 69. You don't know, right? How many mock drafts do we have where there's so many guys, there's so much parity? The question is, who are we picking? Are we getting our edge? We're getting 3 first-round picks, baby. 3 first-round picks. I can't believe it. We're going to shell out. That's why we want cap flexibility. And there you go. This is amazing. I am so excited. I can't believe we're back. This is great. Oh my God, I'm so excited you are. And I'm writing that right now in the chat. Scared the hell out of my dog. Sorry, Ramsey. This is great. This is great. Who are we picking? Funny. Who are we picking? Karlaftis, JJ.
Wait till you see this.
This is crazy. I cannot believe this is happening. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't look at the chat or anything. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's happening. It's happening.
That's great.
Oh my God. Here it comes. Yeah, we got Johnson. We got Johnson at 26. We got Johnson at 26. This is great. Yes. Jay.
Jets. You know what, man?
Yeah, we got. I got to get back to the screen. Wait a second. Yeah, so that was my night.
Why do you hate life, Matt? Matt, what happened?
What are you talking about, Matt?
Why do you
Today
hate
was
life?
like the best day ever.
Listen, Matt, I'm going to tell you guys right now, and Jeremy knows this. Tigo knows this. Yep, I don't know if I went over this afternoon. I was not happy. Were you keeping up with the Facebook messaging with me, you, and Adam? Were you
a little bit, man? I was. Okay. I had so much going on. I was like conducting a job.
I know you had the interview when it started.
So much crap going on. Okay. But I was like, my stomach was hurting when we picked Sauce. Not because I don't love Sauce, but I was thinking we're not going to get an edge or a wide receiver at 10. It's like one of those, we're going to be missing a position. So I was just kind of like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What are they doing? If they trade for Debo, then we don't get an edge. And then after they took Garrett Wilson, like the whole way down, I'm thinking nobody's going though. They're dropping. And a few times I was screaming, we need to trade up, and then I gave up by 24, 25. I was thinking it's not going to happen. And then boom.
All right. Let me throw out this to you.
Yeah.
I have been absolutely 100% against cornerback in round 1.
Yeah.
I hated the pick. I texted that to you and Adam. If you go back and look, I was like, I can't believe we let Thibodeau pass. I was hoping Hutchinson fell to us. I was trying to manifest it. It didn't work out. And then Thibodeau falls. And Connor Hughes, who I'm a fan of. I know a lot of people do not like him. I know you and CJ aren't fans. I don't mind him. He was tweeting out the results of each pick before it even said the pick is in on the TV. And I did a move in front of the kids that I hate. And I went, shit, we're taking Gardner. And my kids both turn and look at me and go, Dad, what the fuck? Like, you told us no spoilers. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, man, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like, let me unfollow Connor. I tweeted at Connor. I was like, bro, what a dick move. I'm like, you don't tweet spoilers during the draft. What's wrong with you? And like, now I got to unfollow you. 20 other people after me are like, Jesus Christ, dude, now I got to unfollow you. Like, he ruined it. And then after the 10th pick, he tweets, oh, I'm going to start writing articles now. I'm not going to tweet spoilers anymore. What an asshole. Like, this is the first day, like, I really hated Connor. But anyway.
I was finding out early, and then I stopped because I wanted to be in tune with I wanted to be in tune with the show. Because when I went to the NFL Network on the internet, like, it was literally saying the pick before they would aired it. So it was like,
you go into Bleacher Report,
and
you follow their live feed and you refresh it, I knew the picks in rounds 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 before they even announced it on TV. That's because their live feed compared to their news feed are like 5 minutes apart. And in the later rounds, every minute somebody's putting someone in. So
Yeah.
let me get back to this real quick.
Yeah.
I hated Gardner. I hated Gardner over Thibodeau. I hated Gardner over Icky. And then when we got to 10, Gardner and London was gone. You've been my best man. You've been right next to me the entire time at the altar. Jamison Williams.
Yeah.
We take Garrett Wilson, and I'm not that mad at it. I'm like, you know what? He's got good athleticism. He's got good range. He's as close to Jamison Williams as you can get, right? And he's healthy from day one, so it might help Zach immediately. So I'm not mad at the Wilson pick.
Yeah.
And then we get down to like 21, and I see the Chiefs trade up and the Patriots trade back. And I see the run on receivers go, and Burks is gone, Olave's gone, Williams is gone. I'm like,
Dotson.
Yeah, Dotson goes too. Good move by Washington. If Dotson was your guy and you wanted to pair him with McLaurin, you want that speed next to the bigger guy like McLaurin, that's smart. Trade back a little bit, get more capital, still get your guy, right? I'm not saying that the pick would be the pick I would make, but if you know that's your guy and you know no one else wants him, it's smart to drop back a little bit and then recoup that. So then all of a sudden it's like 22, 20, or it was 21, and they made the pick. And I looked at the kids, and I was on with the IOW, and I was like, 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm like, Lloyd, Dean, Linderbaum, Jermaine Johnson. I'm like, the Jets got to jump up in one of these next couple picks.
Yeah.
Like, they have to. They absolutely have to. And if you look at your phone with what I texted you as you were starting your video, in my final round 1 mock, I have the Jets, who took Hutchinson at 4 and London at 10, trading up to Tennessee at 26 to take Nakobe Dean. Because we don't need Jermaine. And I had Jermaine there at 29 going to or 30 going to the Chiefs. So if you look at that picture I sent you, I had the Jets trading up with Tennessee at 26 to get a 3rd first rounder. So I hit that, which is a pretty good hit to get to call that guy at that spot. Give me a sec. Let me catch up in the chat. Yep says we got Sauce and JJ. I did not love the Sauce pick until we drafted JJ to pair it with him.
It made it all come together.
It's
like
cohesion, right?
Then you have to imagine the draft like this from before the night started. If you went back in time yesterday and said, we get JJ with 4, which we were all okay with, right? You get JJ at 4. You get Garrett Wilson at 10. I said, okay, he was my number 2. Garrett Wilson was my number 2 after Jamison Williams, so I'm fine. And I said that. I could live with it, right? And then you tell me we somehow add Sauce Gardner by giving up 69, like trading 69 for 101 and giving up 35. Oh my God, dude. Sauce Gardner, he's like one of the top 2 or 3 players in the entire draft. Holy shit.
And then on top of our opinions about it, when you hear Joe Douglas and Salah do their press conference tonight, and you hear Joe Douglas say, and I quote, we got 3 out of our top 8 players on the board. Who gets that? Who gets that? Who gets that? Bill Parcells didn't get that when he got John Abraham, Sean Ellis, and Chad Pennington.
And we know his ability.
Who gets that?
And I like I like our scouting. I like his ability to pick talent. I mean, if he likes Garrett that much and he loved Elijah and got him in the 2nd round and was going to pick Elijah possibly with the 23rd or something, imagine how much he loves Garrett Wilson.
When you pair Garrett Wilson, his route running, his athleticism, his catch and run ability, and you put that next to Elijah Moore with all of the same things, it's dangerous. And now you're putting a potentially top 10 elite offensive line out there. And we didn't even get to the rest of the round. I didn't even know we got the 3rd round pick, the 37th pick. When you were talking about it in your stream that you were sharing, I looked it up. I didn't even know we got the 37th pick in the third round. I thought we just gave up the third round pick.
Right.
So the fact that I think it's 99?
101.
101? Okay. Oh, that's right. Comp picks. My bad. I forgot. So we still have 5 at the top 100. We have 3. We have 38. And that's if Joe doesn't trade down tomorrow. We can go get. Let me catch up in the chat before we get too far, because even though it's 2:00 here on the East Coast,
you know what? I just want to tell Yep, I am going to do fan call-ins on my channel. Like Matt help. Nick helped me set up the technology to do it. Like I'm ready to go and start to do call-ins.
This is my buddy Matt. He's from the IOW Sports Network. He is a member of Chop Sports too. He's a good friend of mine. He's a Giant fan. We are going to address some other teams in a minute and what went well tonight for them.
They had a great draft.
Very good draft. They got the 2 guys that I picked for them, Neal and Thibodeau. They just switched it. I had Neal 5, Thibodeau 7, and then it switched. Yep says man corners are generational. Let's put those Kyle Wilson, D. Milliner talks to sleep. I'm with you 100%. Matt checking in again. What's up? T goes here. We got my top 5 guys on my board at 4, 10, and 26. I'm not mad at all. Nice. Good call, Tigo. Very good. I'm ready if you need me. I'm so hyped. I'm not sleeping for a few hours. Jeremy, you have Tigo's email, right? You have his email or his info because you invited him on your stream last night?
I have him DM on Twitter.
Can you forward the stream card to him? All right, Tigo, it's coming in right now, buddy. We got you. Love to have you on. Yep, I'm not there yet. I've been piggybacking on other people's shows, but I'm starting to branch off and do my own work. Eventually, I'll get there. But Jeremy's got a much bigger channel that I'm a part of. Friday night, we have Friday Night Hangout that I'm his co-host for. So we will have. Are we going tomorrow night? Are you watching the Green Bean stream?
We're going to figure it out at what point, but we're definitely going to go on tomorrow for sure. Maybe a little later, maybe not. Maybe about 10 p.m.
Okay. Like Jeremy just added that to his streams. Very cool feature for sure. Yeah, he did. Sucks they drafted Neal. He's a bust. I don't think so, Matt. I don't think so in any way, shape, or form. I think that if we didn't have Fant perform the way he did, or if we signed Tomlinson, I think we would have been on Icky or Neal. But the way Fant performed, I think it was absolutely freaking awesome. All right, let me bring in our new friend to the channel here and a friend from Jeremy's channel. Let's bring in Talking Jets with Tigo. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
Good night. I don't ever want to go sleep. I don't want this night to
end. I don't ever want this night to end. Like ever. Like I said it last night, like when we ended when we were ending the stream, which was we need to make sure that we walk away today with a franchise changing day. I feel like we watched that live. This is the day where that same old Jets moniker that we put it in the ground. It's 6 feet under. This is not the same old Jets. This is something new. And I broke my chair when we traded up for Jermaine Johnson. And we called it. I threw it across the room. Like my dog came in worried. I was so excited.
I feel so bad for my dog, dude. He was hiding. He ran off the couch and was hiding by the door. It was really sad. I was like, sorry, buddy.
Well, my daughter was like leaning on me, and like she was here. She had her like head on my chest. She had the pillow here. I was over at their house, and it says Jets are on the clock, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's go!" And she goes, "Dude, I'm sleeping." She goes, "What happened?" I go, "We traded up," and she goes, "What?" And she sits up. 11 years old, but she's like a diehard Jet fan, so it was pretty cool.
And my thing with that trading into 26, I was telling my friends the whole time, the moment I saw that 26 pick, and I've been preaching this for a while, which is if the Jets wanted to trade back up into the first round, the team for me that was the perfect place to do it was Tennessee at 26, because before the A.J. Brown trade, they don't really have very many holes. The only thing I look at that team maybe needing would have been like a backup offensive tackle just in case Tyler Lewan, because he can't stay healthy, and like a tight end. And I was like, they're not taking Trey McBride that early. So I was like, look at 26 for us to trade up. And I was with my friends on a call and I was like, watch out. The Jets are coming back for Jermaine Johnson. And I said it on my video, like when we did the Garrett Wilson
I
pick,
couldn't believe he
like,
was there.
I was like 14, 15, 16
Him and
has to be
Karlaftis
then.
both fell.
Karlaftis to the Chiefs. How?
And they got McDuffie.
Yep.
I had McDuffie going to 12. So based off of me, I'm not a professional. They got a +9 value there. And they got I had Karlaftis going to the Ravens at 14. So they got a +15 value there. They got really, really good value.
I was just about to say what Matthew Smith brought up. This was the worst.
Did you see?
This is the worst pick in the draft.
Did you see? If you go to CBS Sports on Instagram,
yeah,
the Rams general manager, and Sean McVay are doing it, and they're like, "What? They took Colt Strange out of Tennessee Chattanooga at 29?" And McVay says, and I quote, "Why did we watch film on him thinking he would be there at 104? This is what they were going to do." I love that the Patriots are becoming a black. Now, granted, he might be the next Steve Hutchinson, right? The way the Patriots
you could have gotten him in the second. Traded down.
You could have traded back 3 more times.
You could have gotten him in the second. You just needed a pick in front of Cincinnati. That was it.
Yeah,
that's who I thought Cincinnati was going to take in the second. Would have been Cole Strange.
And who did Cincinnati take at 31?
Oh, I gotta pull it up.
I'll pull it up. I got Bleacher
Report.
Daxton Hill.
Daxton Hill.
They took a safety. They didn't even take the lineman.
Yeah, it's Daxton Hill and Lewis one at the end.
Who was available that was worth it? Like,
I mean, when you're
I really like Bernard Raymond, but he's not ready to start. He needs to put on 20 pounds before he's a starter.
And don't forget, the Patriots just got back Trent Brown, so they got some good tackles. They need interior. They traded away Shaq Mason to Brady and the Bucs this year, so they needed another guard.
The other thing, I think another great value pick for me was Linderbaum to the Ravens at 25.
Very good.
Because a lot of
I know people are shitting on the Ravens, and I know they're shitting on you traded away Hollywood Brown. Lamar Jackson tweeted WTF tonight.
Yep.
But when we all started our pre-draft process, and Tigo, this is before I met you, when you go back to December, January, February, the generational can't miss players were who?
Tyler Linderbaum and Kyle Hamilton.
And who did the Ravens get tonight?
They walked away. Now, I'll say this firstly.
If they hit,
they'll hit.
Have 2 legends.
They're gonna hit. I don't have them with a generational tag, but like my thing is like
not now, but when January was here.
No, agreed.
They were both going top 5.
Hamilton was going number 2 to the Lions. It was like
Linderbaum was 4 to the Jets.
Yep. Or if he wasn't 4 to the Jets, he was at 7 to the Giants.
If he wasn't at 4 to the Jets, he was at 8 to the Jets, because this is before Seattle won that last game and moved up.
Yep.
It was Hamilton Linderbaum. It was Kenyon Green Linderbaum. It was heavy.
Do you remember when
generational talents?
Nicholas Petit Frere was a first-round pick too early on in the draft process.
How about I'll throw another name. We were starting to get into this last night, but it was near the end of the stream, and Jeremy was getting yelled at to go watch a movie and eat dinner. Remember when DeMarvin Leal was a top 10 pick?
Top 10 pick.
5.
He was in the conversation to go to the Giants because he looks very much like Williams out there. Yes. And he can play inside and outside and all that stuff.
People were calling him the next Aaron Donald because he could rush from the interior.
Crazy.
And he's not even a mention anywhere near the first round.
I'll say this, and I'm planting my flag here. In December, to like my friends, because this is before I had my channel, this is before all this stuff had. I came out with my first big board, and I had Sauce at 3 on my big board. Okay. I had him over at the time. I had him over everybody, like defensive backs. I had him over Kyle Hamilton, Derek Stingley, Andrew Booth Jr., all of those guys that were in the conversation to be the best defensive back. And I said, you watch, Ahmad Sauce Gardner is going to be a top 5 pick. And I pounded the table for him. Not saying to come to the Jets, but I really, really liked him. And he was a pick for me until we signed DJ Reed. But I'm with you, Nick. When they announced the Sauce Gardner pick, I was upset.
Yeah, I was
because
I saw
Jeremy
the
said,
Hughes tweet, and I was mad that I saw the tweet because I knew what it was, and I knew it didn't align with my desires. So, like, my daughter was standing on the coffee table in the living room. My son's standing next to me. Their mom's ready to take a video. And I looked at the phone. My son goes, "What? You don't look happy." I go, "Oh, it's fucking Gardner." And he goes, "Man, a cornerback?" And he turns around and goes sit down. My daughter steps off the table. And my ex looks at me and she goes, "What am I supposed to do with this video?" I'm like, "Go fucking back to your room and go to work. Obviously, we're disappointed. Don't bother us right now."
and my thing, it wasn't even that it
So
was
she
like,
laughs. And she's a Giant fan. And she's like, "Oh, of course, the Jets disappoint you and my kids. What a surprise." And then later on, like, my son comes running out of his room. Me and my daughter are jumping up in the living room. And she's like, "I'm trying to go to sleep. What the fuck?" I go, Take a video. We traded up for Jermaine Johnson before we even announced it." She goes, "Shut the fuck up. Take an Uber home. I'm trying to go to sleep." I was like, "All right."
I was in that same boat because I was just like Jeremy had said, I was in a situation of like, so we just lost the edge or the wide receiver here, right? We lost one. And the moment that Debo wasn't traded before the draft, I was out on Debo. I was like, I don't want it anymore. Give me one of these guys. And like, for me, we saw all of that stuff happen. And like, it's like, I think what you said, it was like, it was a B- draft for me until we came up to 26 to get Jermaine Johnson.
Yes.
Once that happened and we addressed we got what I consider the best defensive back. And I think by far, is so much better than all of the other defensive backs in this class. We got him at 4 and we got my 1B wide receiver at 10 and my number 2 edge behind only Aiden Hutchinson at 26.
You said it last night. You said JJ's your number 2.
I'm marching from Florida to New York, and when I get there, we're building the statue for Joe Douglas because
there's no reason to go to New York. Just stop where I'm at in New Jersey because this team has nothing to do in New York besides the name on the front of the jersey.
But that trade up and grabbing JJ, it's amazing what that did because it made the Gardner pick that we hated
better.
We got Sauce Gardner.
Made it better.
Right. We got Sauce Gardner for 35 and trading 69 for 101. That's what we got Sauce Gardner for because we were happy with JJ and Garrett Wilson anyway.
Yes.
So from what we thought, if you would have told me a day ago, "Oh, we're gonna go JJ and Garrett Wilson," I'd say, okay, those aren't the guys I wanted, but I like them both a lot, and I think it's still a good draft, and we're a better team. All of a sudden, we have Gardner now too. It's ridiculous. This is like maybe the best draft day in Jets history draft-wise.
Let me ask you this: fast forward to tomorrow. Obviously, there's some quarterbacks there that might get traded up for. You got
Willis
no running backs taken yet.
Nope.
People like to take running backs in round 2.
Yep.
You have Dean, Muma, Harris, Willis, Hall. There's a very good possibility that one of those 3 linebackers, Chanel, 2, another one.
We're going to get one of them.
There's a very good possibility. With all those names that I named, we're going to get one of those players. You got Connecticut. You got Winfrey. You still have Perry on Winfrey.
I want to add one name to that list. And I know that a lot of people aren't as high on this guy. But for me, if we can trade back out of 35 and maybe get something else.
38.
Right? 38. I'm sorry. We traded 35. You're right.
So we have
trade out of 38. And I only want to trade out of 38 if Nakobe Dean's not there. Right?
I'm okay with that.
But for me, a guy that I would like us to take in the second because he's still on our board or he's still on my board and I really like him. I have a first-round grade on him. Is Bernard Ryman. I would love to address that tackle spot because I don't like, not that I don't like, I do like, but I don't like the banking on a 3rd or a 4th round tackle per se. And I think Bernard Ryman has a first round grade.
Not if we could wait to the end of the 3rd round and get the kid from Kentucky
I don't like Darian Kennard to me doesn't translate as a tackle to the next level.
Really?
From what I see from him,
but he's got the flexibility for both, though, which is something that the Joe Douglas regime always looks for.
Absolutely.
He might have to be a long-term solution, but it's a lot better than Cameron Clark. It's a lot better than Adoga.
My thing is like I would like I said with him, he needs to put on 20 pounds because he started playing tackle 2 years ago. He was a tight end 2 years ago.
And he very well could, right?
And my thing is like I see him as like if he comes in by week 11, week 12, he's playing instead of George Fant. And not because George Fant does anything badly, but because Ryman wins out that job straight up.
Wow.
Like if he can put on 20 pounds in this offseason, like
I had Ryman as a round 1 pick. So
yeah, me too.
I'm very, very good.
I would love to see him as our swing tackle. Okay. But that's the one name. I really would like to see us go get like Nakobe Dean or something like that.
Here's the name Matthew brings up. Look at the first name.
Ojabo.
Man,
I thought he was a lock.
Get nasty, and if you want to just, do we know?
Is he gone for this whole year?
No, he tore an Achilles in February. Cam Akers tore his Achilles in July, and he was back in January. With the technology now and the surgeries, you're coming back in 6-7 months. He could very well be back October, like Jameson Williams, mid-October.
Oh man,
maybe November. What if we start off great
and then you add somebody like that? Pull that off though.
I don't think we need to with Lawson and Jermaine Johnson. I don't think we need to.
The other thing that I think people keep forgetting is we brought in that Houston kid too.
I forget his name.
Ika Martin.
Martin. I was thinking McNair because the McNair writer and the owner in Houston is McNair.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had the other Martin. We had his brother, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we did. Josh Martin we had. We had his brother. I might be wrong on the name, but we had his brother. And then I think we traded his brother to the Niners. I might be messing up the timeline with who it is.
I wish I knew.
We rejoice, gentlemen. Joey D is that guy.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Tell me your real name, man. Tell me your real name because I'm.
Me?
His name
or
is
Yep?
No, Yep. He actually found me today when I went live at 3:00. I think you popped in for a little bit. Oh no, you went live at the same time. You did a half an hour show today, Tigo, at the same time when I was on, so we didn't get into each other's stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5 minutes after I started, I got a notification because I followed you last night.
Yeah.
After Jeremy's show, and then I signed up for alerts, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" It was what Jeremy taught me early on. He was like, "Hey, let's not go live at the same time because we don't want to battle for viewers and coordinate." Yeah. And then 5 minutes after I went live, you popped live, and I went like,
I don't think I went live. I think I just uploaded something because I uploaded my first round mock, prediction of my first round mock, which was totally off. But I'm not mad at all.
No.
Did you guys see
John coming back next week, 10 to 18. You know what, Matthew Smith? My birthday is 10/18. That might be a little hidden blessing in disguise. My birthday is October 18th, and you put 10/18 in the timetable.
So it's my wife's. My wife's birthday is 10/18.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
She was born the day Reggie Jackson hit the 3 home runs.
Yes, a year. Oh, she's a year older than me. She was born in 1977.
Yeah,
I'm 78. What's he go?
ESPN has I pulled up the depth chart just to look at it. They've already got all of the first round picks on there, where they're slotted. Like it's like there's Garrett Wilson, there's Ahmad Gardner. Like, oh man. Let me ask this question, okay? Because of the Sauce Gardner pick, now that we've had it and we've had time to discuss, right? I think all three of us. I agree, Matthew. Ojabo to the Jets, 100%. It's happening. But with this, I think we all looked at the Sauce Gardner pick a little bit as before the draft, before we even made the pick, that it was an unnecessary pick because of the signing of DJ Reed and Jordan Whitehead, right? DJ Reed pushes down Bryce Hall now to a cornerback 2. It pushes Brandon Eccles, who I really actually liked as a cornerback last year, to CB3. And it pushes all of these guys that were playing way too many minutes down.
Yeah.
Now, one of the underrated stats for DJ Reed is that he also in Seattle played safety. Do we think that we brought in DJ Reed and we let the and by we I mean the Jets, right? They let the media run with it that he's a cornerback, and they let him have that conversation and all that stuff. But in reality, the plan the entire time was Jordan Whitehead is your strong safety, DJ Reed is your free safety, and we're gonna take
you got
Ahmad Gardner and Hall.
2 very big. I don't know, man.
And then in the slot, you have Michael Carter the second.
They're going to throw any breadcrumbs at the media. I think they'll wait for training camp and let it sort it out on the field. They've already showed the ability to move Pinnock from corner to safety.
Yep.
So they're not against positional changing. Excuse me. Townhouse crackers. My bad. They stuffed in the back of my throat. So you got Gardner. You could potentially have Hall on one side. You have Reed who could step up and play corner, right? So if you're in a base formation and the receiver is in the backfield, say you got somebody like Debo or somebody else who checks out to receiver, you can bring Reed up to guard him in a slot where you don't have to burn a timeout. You already have people capable of covering it out on the field. So it's not a horrible idea. I think that if we know anything about this coaching staff and the general manager, Joe Douglas, flexibility is next to availability is the greatest ability you can have to be on the New York Jets football roster.
Being able to play anywhere that you're asked at a moment's notice. That's why, like the whole
be able
Denzel
to flex
Mims
from
thing.
maybe a blitzing safety to a covering corner or nickelback. It's great. You're not exposing the team. You're not hurting us. I think you could be onto something here. I really do.
The moment that pick came in, that's immediately what I started thinking of, because when that pick, that signing was announced, like on ESPN and all of the places, they listed him as a safety.
Yes.
Everybody said that he was a safety. And then as time went on,
arguments on Twitter, Jets fans going at each other, cutthroat, like dagger to the neck.
He's a safety.
He's a safety. He's a safety. He's a safety. I'm like, well, I'm watching film on him on Seattle as a corner.
He's an outside corner.
Jet fans saying that we got a good corner from them. Why are you calling him a safety? And he's got history with the Robert Salah defense.
I'm telling you, I think we just got a massive secondary upgrade in the sense of the fact not only did we add Sauce Gardner,
You had Gardner. My comment and my reference lately has been the water level rises, right?
Yeah.
You're bringing in a guy like Gardner, a guy with Richard Sherman's size and Darrelle Revis covering ability.
Think of this.
He looks like Antonio Cromartie.
He does. And he
looks like Sherman, but he's got hips like Revis.
Now think of this though.
Which is kind of Cromartie, right?
Think about this fact though, okay? Because one of the things what didn't we get for the first 6 games of the season? Points. Or turnovers. Turnovers.
Interceptions.
We got Whitehead, who's a heat-sinking missile who causes turnovers. We got Ahmed Gardner, Sauce Gardner, who is going to just get so many picks. You got
Gardner could be the closest thing that we've seen to Darrelle Revis.
We're gonna get turnovers, man. We're gonna finally get turnovers.
The combination of the pass rush and the coverability of the defense, the back end. And now imagine if we have Mosley and we had Dean or Harris tomorrow.
Just another.
You're talking about a team that not only with the defensive talent that we've added with Johnson, with Solomon Thomas, with Carl Lawson coming back, with the potential of Dean or Harris, with adding Gardner, with adding Reed, with adding Whitehead, with Carter, Eccles, Hall, all having
Jacob
another
Martin.
year in the system.
I like it. I like this addition, man. Watch
Sheldon Rankins being in the defense. Quinnen Williams having help now and not just being Huff and JFM. You're talking about a defense filled with dogs on every level. And now, the most important part of it, you're talking about a fucking team that added to their offensive line and can convert third downs. And you're talking about a team that has 2 elite wide receivers who can strike on the field at any time. And you're talking about a team that has beer burp. You got to let me have it once in a while. I apologize. You're talking about a team with 2 great blocking tight ends and guys who can get out and receive on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and can just turn on linebackers, open up, and we hit the quick pass.
First downs immediately.
So, absolutely. You're talking about Michael Carter, who, if you watch this film last year, the Tampa Bay game in particular, he's breaking long runs. And we had LDT at guard. We got Tomlinson and Vera Tucker at guards now. We're going to have Fant and Becton. You're looking at a team that's going to be on the field longer offensively. You're going to be looking at a team that converts on third downs. You're going to be looking at a team that can strike from 60, 70, 80, 90 yards on the field with the receiving speed and talent that we have. If you have Corey Davis coming over the middle after Moore and Wilson go deep, you got a guy running an in route who
and
you can hit in the chest from.
You add Tyler Conklin doing just finding a hole, and then Michael Carter in the flats.
Yeah.
So many options.
Yeah. And you got Coleman, who looked very good running the 49ers offense with one plant and go. He had some good runs late in the year. Our offense staying on the field for longer. Give me 1 second, Jeremy. I'll throw it to you. You're looking at an offense that when they stay on the field for longer helps the defense. And everyone forgets about that when your offense doesn't have 24 minutes of possession and your defense is on the field for 36 minutes a game, it is a fucking huge, huge difference. If we're controlling the ball and running it for 37, 38 minutes a game, and our defense is only playing 21 minutes, that is a massive, massive swing into the Jets' direction.
It's also how you stop all of those injuries that we got.
Yeah, and here's the another thing about all this. It looks great right now. When we talk about can you imagine where we were a year ago with our secondary and where we are right now? Not only the depth of the secondary is insane, but so think about where we are right now. Now you got Lawson coming back, right? You got JJ, you got Quinnen, JFM moves to the middle. I mean, you still got Sheldon Rankins, right? You have all this insanity, right? Of how different this defense can be. But how about this? We're not done. Tomorrow, we're getting another quality player. We might get N'Kobe Dean tomorrow, Leo Chanel. We might get Chad Muma. We're gonna get or Petrie. We're gonna get another quality guy tomorrow. How crazy is that?
How about this? And I'm gonna Tigo. Give me a minute to build this up. Jeremy, I know how much you love this player. What if Joe Douglas, Michael LaFleur, Robert Salah all get together and say, you know what? We only have Corey Davis for one more year after this. Corey Davis can be cut at the end of the season for a $667,000 dead cap hit. What if Jeremy, and I see you getting giddy because you know who I'm throwing out right now.
I'm getting stiff.
He's getting bigger and blacker than that microphone. What if they say Christian Watson is our pick at 38, and we are going to build an elite wide receiving core for our young quarterback to succeed, and with our defensive line, with Jermaine, with Solomon, with Quinnen, with Jonathan Franklin Myers, with Sheldon Rankins, with Shaq Lawson, with everyone else that we got. What if the conversation right now at this moment in Florham Park is stack the receiver? We got multiple tight ends. We got multiple running backs. We can add another one in the late third or fourth. Let's make this rest of this draft to get Zach Wilson to the highest possible water level we can. Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Corey Davis, Braxton Berrios, Uzoma, Conklin, Coleman, Carter. You are talking about a weaponry that the New York Jets have not had in a very long time. If you are going to let your rookie quarterback succeed, give me a better plan to do it, and I'll shut the fuck up. Both of you guys in the chat, tell me if I'm wrong.
You're not, and it's one of the things why I like the idea of this, and I tweeted out my rest of the draft mock draft, like what rounds 2 and 3, 4 and 5 would look like in my opinion. Okay. And I didn't go wide receiver. I actually waited and took Kyle Phillips in the 5th to fill that role as the other wide receiver.
Jeremy's a big Kyle Phillips guy.
I'll take him.
But like my thing that I looked at was like we're finally going to put a quarterback that we've drafted into a position where we like, because I'm going to knock on all of the wood, right? That if Zach Wilson doesn't work out, it's Zach Wilson's fault. Definitely. Not because like, look at what is happening in Carolina with Sam. We still don't know what Sam Darnold is as a quarterback because he spent 3 years with the Jets with that horrible Adam Gase and all of that stuff, right? We didn't have an offensive line. He didn't have any weapons. Le'Veon Bell couldn't move past a yard from the off. Like, we didn't surround him enough. He goes to Carolina, but he can't stay on his feet because that offensive, like, there is no excuse for Zach now. Because at all. Because I was thinking about this after we got Garrett Wilson, and I said, if we wanted to go 5 wide, we're looking at a wide receiver, running back, and tight end combo at 5 wide of Garrett Wilson on the outside, Elijah Moore on the outside, Corey Davis in the slot, Tyler Conklin out wide as well, and Michael Carter. We've got 5 guys that can literally take it to the house no matter what.
Yeah.
One of them needs to get open. And we've got a line now that can give – Zach needs to speed up his process. But we have an offensive line now that'll give him that extra step.
Well,
right?
Look what Zach
He can't play 8 in the box.
When Zach came back from the injury, look what he did when they gave him just average pass protection. Look at the improvement. Just from getting like near average pass protection – you saw the change in him. And it was probably a little below average, so it wasn't great, but it was just reasonable. Like in the first 6 games, it wasn't reasonable. I mean, it was ridiculous.
He was running.
Can you imagine what will happen now with Becton coming back if he comes back strong, and now Laken Tomlinson? Can you imagine him with better than average protection, like a top 12 offensive line even? What is possible with this kid?
Can you imagine that last Buffalo game with Wilson, Moore, Davis, Berrios, Uzama, Conklin, Carter, Coleman, this offensive line?
Can you imagine the Tampa
He threw one
game
fucking
with those
slant
guys?
to Keelan Cole. He threw one slant to Keelan Cole, and Keelan Cole broke it. The only play of the game that Zach Wilson looked comfortable, confident, and delivered on time, we struck for a touchdown against Buffalo, the number 1 defense in the NFL. Imagine what we could do with that week in and week out, and a quarterback with confidence in his weapons. Excuse me. I just want to go over a couple of things in the chat real quick before we go on.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a drink.
Yeah, do you think? Yep. I'm out in Arizona. Step family is from Jersey, just south of the Washington Bridge. Where you at? Where are they at? Yep, if you're still here. Where you at? Fort Lee? Gutenberg? Are you living where your family's where Jamal Adams was on the water there?
Man, I don't. I'll tell you about Arizona, dude. Man, when I went there for like spring training to watch baseball and stuff, We went to the Phoenix area.
Okay.
We went and we got a burrito. Like we went to this hole in the wall at 2 a.m. and I got like this beef and egg burrito or something like that. Dude, I could go to Arizona just for that, man. It was the greatest eating experience of my life.
And I know how much you love food. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The burritos there are just freaking outrageous. They're so good.
Yep says, give me that all day. But if Joey D was gambling man on injuries, he would have taken JMO.
He was a referral to a
I'm
job.
not mad with Wilson. Yep, I'll be completely honest with you. I think that Garrett Wilson is the closest thing to Jamison Williams. So
who's healthy?
Getting a Garrett Wilson who's healthy makes me this much more excited than getting a Jamison Williams who's got to wait a little bit. Because if you watch the highlights of Garrett Wilson, this dude is jumping out the building. This dude is doing the same catch and runs that JMO is. He's an elite route runner. Excuse me. So you're looking at a wide receiver who, if Jamison Williams is 1A, I'm looking at Garrett Wilson as 1B. Because it's that close. And I think they both run excellent routes. I think they both have great ability to separate. I think they both have short catch, long run ability. And I love adding either one of them next to Elijah Moore. I think that adding either one of these guys next to Elijah Moore raises the water level of the New York Jets offense. So the main thing that Joe Douglas had to do tonight was bring talent into the room. No way. Yes, I agree. Yep. How old are you? Is Matt, not Matthew Smith, Matthew Jacko. Are you still in the room? Because, my buddy Matthew Jacko is from South River. This would be crazy if these two know each other.
Wow.
Matthew Jacko, you still here? 5 miles is wrong, but around there. Yep. How old are you?
There's a good Arizona Jets fan club, man. Dan Moscow, I think. On Twitter. Dan, I think it's named Dan. Dan Moscow. It's something like a Russian last name, like Moscow, like something like that reminds me of Russia. He's part of this fan club. They meet at Artichoke Basils or whatever, Basil Artichokes. There's one out in Arizona, and they meet there for the Jet games. I don't know where it is though. What part of Arizona?
I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on. Okay, so Yep is 32. My buddy Matt is 42. But I got friends in South River who are a couple years older than me, 48, 49. That's funny that you're from South River too, because Matt Jacko, who was in the chat earlier, is from South River. He's a Giant fan, but he's a good friend of mine, so he pops in and shows support. Tigo, I don't know how, but I'm smelling that pizza through the microphone. You son of a bitch. What are you eating?
Just a pepperoni.
From where? Jeremy and you. If you watch me and Jeremy, we both eat.
I'm here in Florida, so it's not
Florida,
that special.
dude.
Oh, you're in Florida?
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's like bird feathers with like red sauce on it. It's horrible.
He can get good knishes though if he knows where to go.
I love that Jeremy knows every food place.
I know everything, man.
You do. You're a food connoisseur.
Yeah. Well, in Florida, there's good condition, and there's also what was I gonna say? There's man, what's in Florida? I know in Florida there's something that's really good still that you can get down there that makes my parents happy. They used to go down there and be really happy.
Drunk college girls?
No, my parents.
Hey, don't judge, man. You don't know what mom and dad are into. These are.
I just recently learned that like pineapples up here, if you see like in these retirement communities, if you see houses that are painted or like decorated with a lot of pineapples, that's indicating like, hey, we're swingers, we're down. And I was just like, wait, what? And so now whenever we see like pineapple decorations, me and my wife stare at each other going like, these people wilding in there.
Is that what pineapple on pizza means?
Not pineapple on pizzas, like
No.
pineapple decorations on like the front of their house and stuff like that.
Same shit, because you're not ordering pineapple on pizza to eat it.
It's a blasphemy. You shouldn't put that on there.
Absolutely.
So check this out. I sent this email to Green Bean, and he's cracking up at it. I just said, hey, at least one of these players will be on the board tomorrow. Nakobe Dean, Christian Harris, Leo Chanel, Brisker, Jalen Petrie, Perion Winfrey, Trey McBride, Van Valkenburg.
Van Valkenburg. Not Christian Watson, Van Valkenburg.
Van Valkenburg.
Van Valkenburg sounds like an evil guy in like a 1991 after school special.
Yeah.
Mommy, there was a guy down at the bus stop today trying to harm me. What's his name? Van Valkenburg.
I'll tell you what I like in Florida.
Dude, I got to get on with Green Bean, man. I think I would have a really good time. I think he would enjoy. I think both of us would enjoy, and you too. Obviously, I would not do it without you there. But I would really, really love to get on with him, man, just one time and just share my thoughts.
I'll talk to him about it. We'll figure out. But
Yeah, that would be cool.
Green Bean's got a lot of really good, like measured takes. Like
Yeah.
He does.
He takes. He's not a.
He's not an off the cuff guy.
Yeah.
It's well thought out before he says it, and that's part of the greatness of Green Bean, right?
Well, he's gonna be on the show on a Friday sometime. Like there'll be he joins the show sometimes. So one day he's gonna hop on. He's the only reason he hasn't hopped on is because he's done so much and has been doing his rounds. But he did my first episode on the Wacky Wednesday show. So eventually you'll get to be with him, stream with him.
Yeah, that would be great. Like I'm just waiting to get on with Green Bean and have him on with us, and like he shares some of what we do or vice versa. Like he sees what we do and shares it, and then it's good for all of us, right?
Yeah. No, he's been talking about the show.
Yep. If you're still there in the chat, my buddy Matthew Jacko just joined in. He is from South River as well. He's 40. You're 32. I don't know if you're comfortable sharing your last name or how long you lived in the town. But he's from South River. I messaged him. I'm like, bro, how the fuck did you dip out? I know you're a Giants fan and you're all happy and giddy laying in bed like it's Christmas Eve and you just left out the greatest, softest cookies in the world for Santa Claus. But come and tell him your info. Like I said, if you don't want to share your info and you're not happy with it yet, I completely understand it. But Matt's a good dude and he grew up in South River. What if we had to pick one player tomorrow night at 38? Now, we all know Joe. Joe's already traded once. I set the over-under at 2.5. I think we all said last night it would be over, right? On 2.5 trades for Joe Douglas. If we keep 38, Jeremy, what do you see the pick being? Knowing how the board looks right now, if you had to take your red wire from Joe Douglas to the player, like it's usual suspects.
Yep.
And you got the board behind, and Kobayashi and everybody else is there. What do you think?
Well, if I have my choice of who slips, and I got to look at the board to know if he has a chance to slip, there's no doubt the number one guy that's left that I want above all else is Nakobe
Dean. Yeah, that I know. You think he's there at 38, though? That's the question.
I don't know. It's like 6 picks.
Wait, pause.
Like
Time out.
I think he goes to the Giants, unfortunately, man.
Time out.
With a 6 pick tomorrow.
How about Quay Walker going before Nakobe Dean?
How about he goes before Lloyd, too? He's the first linebacker
Quay
taken.
Walker was the first linebacker taken.
And I liked Quay Walker, but not more than Lloyd.
Well, I knew Lloyd would fall. I did. I'll show you right now, man. I had a freaking mock draft in February. I don't know if you could see it. It says 217 up top. Here, let's do this. February 217. Devin Lloyd, Jets, right here. That was before my son told me he was 24. I loved Devin Lloyd. Loved him. I had him at 10 to the Jets. That's how much I loved him. But I don't know. I can't do that pick that early. And we talked about it on your channel, Jeremy. We talked about Quay Walker could slip up past some of these guys because his speed, his tackling ability, his aggressiveness, that he could be the third linebacker taken. I don't think any of us saw him number one. And if you tell me right now you saw Quay Walker being the number one linebacker, I'm going to call you out on bullshit.
There were 2 linebackers taken in the first round and Nakobe Dean wasn't one of them, I would have called you a liar.
Are we trading up tomorrow?
I don't think we trade up tomorrow.
I don't think we need to trade. I mean, I think there's too many good linebackers to trade up.
Agreed. I threw it out there. I threw it out there, and I love that you both shot it down immediately. That was the purpose.
I think the most likely scenario is we trade out of 38. If Nakobe Dean is gone, which unfortunately, I think the Giants are going to take him at 36. If Nakobe Dean is gone, I look at a team like Seattle at 40. I look at a team like Atlanta at 43. I look at a team like the Lions at 46, who might want to come up if the Titans don't take a quarterback, who might want to come up to get in front of Seattle, the 2 Seattle picks, to try to get one of the quarterbacks, right? Because I don't think anybody with half a brain had Kenny Pickett as their number 1 quarterback in this draft.
I don't see the Giants doing that. I see the Giants picking. You know who I think the Giants might pick? Trey McBride.
See, I think Trey McBride's off the board at that point. I think the Titans take Trey McBride at 35.
Then they might take Likely. What's his face? I think the Giants need a tight end. Or because they were very interested in Hamilton. At least the Giant fans feel they need a safety, so they might grab like Petrie if he slips or Brisker. I don't know. You're right. I mean, look, they take Nakobe Dean because Nakobe Dean is fucking Nakobe Dean. But so no argument there. But I'm just saying there's other possibilities for them. There's other needs for them too. You know,
I just look at that and I think that's a trade back spot. I think 38, you move back a couple of picks.
Yeah, if Dean's not there.
That's my caveat. If Dean's not there, and I don't see how these teams pass up on him again. Like, if they want to be stupid and pass up on Nakobe Dean and let him fall into the Jets' lap, I'll take Nakobe Dean at 38 11 times out of 5 and 7 ways to Sunday. Like, I'll take him. That's the pick every time, especially with our linebacker room being the way that it is. But if he's not there, I wouldn't feel comfortable drafting any of the other linebackers this high, knowing that we could, if none of the other quarterbacks are off the board, with Matt Corral and Malik Willis and Sam Howell and Desmond Ridder still on the board, somebody wants to come up and get a quarterback. And so I'm shopping that pick, and if I can move back and get like a 6th round pick or a 5th round pick and drop back 5, 6, 7, 8 spots, I would much rather do that and then get a guy like a Leo Chenal, Brian Asamoah, a Troy Anderson, a Chad Muma. I would love that if we could do that in my scenario. If Dean's not there, that's my ideal situation for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. More draft capital, like get back some of that what we traded away. But man, if Nakobe,
I think we all have to agree on this, though, right? Joe Douglas is not going to reach. Joe Douglas is going to stick to his board. He doesn't give a shit when anyone else is set. Like, the biggest thing that came out tonight was what? Joe Douglas said, and I quote, going back to a little WWE years ago with the miscellaneous commissioner, and I quote, Tigo, I like that you get the reference. If there is a player that he does not want, he will trade down. If there is a player he wants, he will trade up. He is not going to reach. He is not going to overextend. He is not going to embarrass the Jet logo. He is going to do, hold on a second. I just saw this pop in. I want to add this. I'm going to head out. Appreciate you all. Great conversation. Talk to you soon. Yep. It was great to have you. Follow my friends, NFL Chaos with Jeremy, Talking Jets with Tigo. Tigo, comment again in the chat, if you will. That way he could see your name, and that way he knows who to go follow. We are a group of young and up it. Well, Jeremy's not young. I'm not young. Tigo's young. We are a young group of Jets podcasters up and coming together. And the one thing that's awesome about us is that we all want to see each other rise and come up together. We're going to share each other. We're going to join streams together. We're going to build each other up. We're going to use our fan bases to grow one another. So if you're a fan of one of us, you got to be a fan of all of us. That's how
Absolutely.
That's how we're going to do it. There's too many fan bases out there in the NFL that you see podcasts and they're just out for themselves, and it's a really, really disgusting world to be a part of. I think the Jet fan community is all about building one another up, and we all rise together.
Guys, I have to go.
Yeah, I'm getting there too.
I have to wake up ridiculous. Even though I'm on the West Coast, I wake up ridiculously early on the West Coast. I have to wake up. I have to wake up in about 5.5 hours and prepare breakfast for about 100 kids. So,
you're still doing the kitchen thing too?
Well, my guy is taking care of his kids, so the guy who does it. So, and there's no one else who knows how to do it. So, and there's no one else that'll go into the school.
I would just order
at 5:30 a.m.
I would order like 10,000 little hash browns from Burger King and call it a day.
It doesn't work like that, man. I got to set up the trays and everything.
Before we go, last thing. I think I got a good question to end it on.
Jeremy, if you got to bounce, go ahead, man. I understand.
It's all real right, quick.
Tigo, I'll see you tomorrow night, probably, right?
Absolutely.
I'll be there. We'll all get together tomorrow.
Right, what do you think the worst pick
good,
in this draft is? And then we can... all of the players that were taken and all of the things that have happened, what do you think the worst pick of this draft is? And you can't say Cole Strange because that's the easy one. What's the one where you look at it and you go, really, that's of everybody that was on the board, that's what you did?
All right, give me a second because I want to give you an honest answer.
I have two. We talked about Quay Walker for the Packers, and that was a really...
I don't think that's bad.
I don't think it's bad, but that's you're just scratching your head going, that's, of all the things that you could have done, that's what you did. All right, respect. You do you. For me, the two picks to kind of help give you more time.
Let me go first. Jahan Dotson to Washington.
Yep, that was one of them.
I'm looking through the picks right now. Give me a second. Tyler Smith to Dallas.
I loved Tyler Smith. So I loved Tyler Smith.
Not Cole Strange. I like Karlaftis. I like Daxton Hill. I like Lewis Seen. I got to go back earlier. Kenny Pickett to Pittsburgh.
That's a pick for me. I wasn't a fan of it, and neither were some of my Pittsburgh friends. Not that they weren't a fan of it. They just didn't love it.
I don't think Kenyon Green.
Nope, I like that pick.
I don't think the Texans, I don't think it makes an immediate impact, but I think long-term, year 3, 4, when this team starts to win, we're all going to look back and be like, that was a great building block pick.
I was talking to my friend about this. With the Texans. He's a Texans fan. And the pick that I scratched my head on was Derek Stingley at 3. Not that I don't like Derek Stingley.
If he hits big.
If he hits, he's the best corner in football, right? But I was talking to him.
Gardner. I'm a Gardner guy now.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You know what? I'm gonna knock him down a peg because they're also in the AFC. They're like the fourth best corner in football. I'll put like, pick two other guys and
you got
Ahmad
J.C.
Gardner,
Jackson, you got Ahmad Gardner, you got you got Ramsey, and then like 56.
And then we can have Stingley, right?
Yeah.
Like 6 or 7. He's still good. He's a top 10.
Like a needle in a haystack. You got to look for a while to find him.
I looked at that pick and I went, this team is Matthew Jacob got it right. Pick number 3. This pick for me is like, when I looked at the Texans, I was like, okay, so like we know that you wanted to hire how am I blanking on his name? He was a quarterback for us, went to the playoffs with the Eagles and lost. Was a backup. They were trying to bring him in as his as the head coach.
I
forget his name.
Uncle Josh McCown.
Yes, Josh McCown. Yeah. Right? Like
Uncle Josh,
everybody and their mom knows that you were trying to bring in Josh McCown. Brian Flores doesn't pull that lawsuit out. He's your head coach right now, right? So we know that Lovie Smith is a temporary head coach. And so I was looking at it and I was going, the Texans and Caserio should pick players that need 2 or 3 years to explode. And I really liked the Kenyon Green pick. But I was, when 3 was there and Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson were off the board, the fact that Icky wasn't the pick there blows my mind. That for me was the craziest pick because I think they needed the offensive line help.
Okay.
And the separation of Icky at 3 versus Kenyon Green at 15 is much, much like that separation and gap of talent is much larger than if they were to hypothetically go Icky at 3 and then at 15 they would have taken, let's say, Andrew Booth Jr.
I agree.
Like
100%.
That's the separation.
If you take McDuffie and Icky instead of Stingley and Green,
that's a much better draft.
Offensive league now. The rules are all predicated off of offense. The structure of the rules are more predicated towards the offense.
Yeah,
and I think you're 100% dead on with that point. That's a really, really good point.
And then one other pick I like mentioning is the Zion Johnson one to the Chargers. I love that pick, man. That's a great pick. That's one of those, when he got picked, I was like, man, like that's what hard work gets you, you know? Like the guy was a 2nd or 3rd round pick. He goes to
this was my reaction. I'll give my reaction.
I was like, yeah, go get it, man.
This was my reaction. Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow. Like
I was
very
so
subtly,
happy for him.
It's one of those wind needle movers that it's not the sexy pick, but when you got to line up late in the game and you got to get 3rd and 1 and you got Austin Eckler back there and you could run to the left with Lindsley, Green, and Slater. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice.
I just, like I said, it was one of those like, yeah, man, like that's awesome. Like I love that pick. I really felt like that was one of those like feel good moment picks of the draft.
Number 3. Hey, who else do we have in the chat here? I think Yep left. So Tigo, are you in the chat? Is that okay? That's what it's one of you. And Matt is there. All right, awesome. I'd just like to make sure I acknowledge everybody in the chat. I'm getting new to the hosting. Usually I'm like, I've always called myself the Artie Lang of the Jets podcast. I'm the guy on the side. If you want to throw it to me, I can ramble for 20 minutes, but like I've never been the Howard Stern that runs the show. So I'm starting to evolve a little bit. And then I haven't
gotten into the whole streaming on YouTube yet, like with like the whole like StreamYard and doing that stuff. It's because I've been more of like the let me make a video and do that stuff, but I gotta start doing.
Fine.
I gotta start doing more of it because like I like the idea. Like this is a unfiltered, unadulterated, uncut conversation, and you just get like a real.
Yes.
Like when I do my videos, I can do a million takes until I get the wording or the things that I want or how I want to say.
You know what the best part of doing it live is? You have the chat. To throw in questions, to throw in content, to help keep it going. Like if you watch my afternoon one today at 3:00, I was kind of stumbling and bumbling in the beginning because for the first 6 minutes, I had nobody there. So like I'm looking up in the corner and I see 0 eyes watching. I'm looking at the chat. I don't see anything going. And then it's like minute 8 and 9. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get going. I want to thank you guys who did watch. And all of a sudden I had 6, 7, 8 people and the comments took off and it helped get
It drives the
show
conversation.
rolling. Yes. It helped get everything rolling. So if you want to do a show, we got to share each other's info because I had Jeremy invite you tonight. So
I'll DM you on Twitter. We follow each other.
Yeah. DM me on Twitter. Give me your email. Give me your phone number. I can text you, and then we can connect. And then if you're like, hey, I want to do a live show. I don't know how many people are going to be there to start, but I want to get the conversation flowing. I'll pop on with you, man.
Yeah,
I'd love to do that.
It's oh man, it's
okay. Got it. I just saw it pop up. Matt's still here. Matt is Matt's a Giant fan, and Matt is a very, very good friend of mine. And Matt is a loyal viewer to the IOW Sports Network, and we were over there. We do a midnight show at 12 o'clock. We actually went to like 1:30 tonight, and he was messaging me on my phone. He's like, "Keep going, I'll watch. Keep going, I'll watch." I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go over to my channel and then pop over, even though you're a Giant fan. So for Matt's loyalty. Tigo, I want to discuss the Giants.
Oh yeah.
Give him a minute. I absolutely love their draft. Yeah. I had them in my mock, and I could send it to you in the DM on Twitter. When I did my mock today, I had the Jets taking Hutchinson at 4. I had it Walker, Gardner, Icky, Hutchinson. And then I had Neal at 5. I had Willis at 6. I had Thibodeau at 7. So the Giants got the 2 guys that I had them taken. But and you too. You had the same.
I had the same thing. Yes. I was going to mention that. I had the same picks in reverse.
Yes. I think the Giants, who are in search of an identity, who do not have a quarterback who is assigned to the team long-term because they didn't pick up the long-term option.
Nope.
I think that the Giants, next to us, if I had to rate the top 3 teams in the draft today, I would go Jets, Giants, Lions.
Really? Mine would go Jets, Ravens, Giants.
Okay.
I really like what the Ravens did. Being able to trade stuff away.
They're 4. So they're 4 for me. So we're not far off with our assessments.
The one reason the Giants don't get an A+ grade from me, the reason they're an A- is
because Daniel Jones is their quarterback?
Absolutely not. No. I actually think Daniel Jones, with this line that they're building up in front of him,
you got get Thomas and Neal. Got some big boys.
Only thing, and this is a very, very small thing, but not to me, is that at 5, they went Thibodeau instead of Icky, knowing that Carolina was going to take a tackle, because Icky on my board was my number 1 prospect. He was my number 1 player in the draft.
Let me throw this out to counter that. This was my thought process. They had Thibodeau rated above Icky and Neal.
Yeah.
And when they take Icky, or when they take Thibodeau, they know flat out, no matter who gets taken at 6, we get Icky or Neal at 7.
Yeah, worst case scenario.
It's a numbers game, right? You got 1 edge, 2 offensive linemen.
3, because they were in on Charles Cross too.
Yeah. But if you have Jermaine Johnson rated, or Karlaftis, or whoever it is, behind Neal, Cross, and Icky, it's a numbers game at that point.
Yeah.
You take the edge and say, we get 1 of 2. Now, if you take Icky and Thibodeau goes, now you're reaching.
Yeah. It's one of those things
you knew
where
you knew their board off of their pick.
Absolutely.
And it was a very, very
They had Thibodeau higher than the tackles that were available. Yeah. Or they had the tackles higher than Thibodeau, but they knew the separation from Thibodeau to JJ and and George was bigger. It's again, it's the only gripe I have with that pick, because both picks are great picks for that team. Yes. Even though Kayvon Thibodeau is my 4th ranked edge rusher in the class for me, it's still a great pick because like his projection and what he can be is elite. And so you're banking on the fact that he's a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. And what's like, I remember this stat for like 5-star recruits coming out of high school who get taken in the top 5 are like an 89% hit rate. Like in the sense of like they play like I think 8 or more years in the league, like productive years in the league. So it's like one of those things where it's just like Kayvon's a really good pick there. It's just like I said, I love Icky as a prospect. Before we signed Laken Tomlinson, I was pounding the table for Icky at 4.
We don't sign Laken.
Icky's the pick
at 4. Absolutely. It's Icky above Gardner. 100%, no doubt in my mind. But when you're the Giants and you get Neal, Icky, Thibodeau, Cross all falling to you, you lock in the less frequent or the less highly ranked
position player that has less positional value.
You take the positional value at 5, which would be Thibodeau. And then with only one other pick before you pick again, you can't take Cross, Neal, and Icky at 7. Only one guy's going. So you can take whoever you want. I think it was a masterful job by the Giants. I think some things fell their way. I think Thibodeau and Icky both falling to the 5 spot and Neal all being there. As much as it was a potential doomsday for us with Hutchinson not being there, I think it was a perfect scenario for the New York Giants to nail Thibodeau at 5 and sit back and say, all right, Carolina can only take one guy. We're going to get Neal, we're going to get Icky, or Cross, whoever we like.
The other thing that you really can't be mad with the Giants draft is at some point in time, every single one of both of the guys that they took were considered the number 1 overall pick. Do you remember that long stretch of time? Kayvon Thibodeau was the lock-in number 1 pick every single time. And then towards the back
October, November, December, January.
And then in February.
Half of February. Yeah. Combine, it fell down.
And then Aiden started taking the number 1 pick. And then you look at Neal when Jags were like and before they franchise tag Cam Robinson and all of this stuff, and they thought Cam was going to be gone, Evan Neal was the pick at 1 for a long time. It's like I said, the only reason it's an A- for me is because I love Icky as a prospect. He was my best tackle by far, but it's such a good pickup for them. Another crazy stat that I just remembered about this draft is like, so we had a lot of movement in this draft, right? New Orleans comes up, Detroit comes up, Philly comes up, like all of these teams coming up and doing all these trades. Did you know that none of the teams who made any of the trades traded any assets for future years? Every single trade was only for players or picks in this draft. That's how strongly I think they think of next year's draft. It's crazy.
Nobody wants to give up anything for next year. The only team that did was the Saints and the Eagles, and I think the Eagles.
But that was before anything happened,
was
right?
Pre-draft. I would have loved
to pick up a 1 next year.
I don't know if you've seen me on the shows, but the reason I have this beard is so that when I drool over Will Anderson next year, you don't see it dripping off my chin like the beard absorbs it. Will Anderson next year, anybody who has multiple picks has got to debate of going up for Will Anderson. I think Will Anderson is a franchise change. I think there's 3 franchise changers next year. Like when you looked at Peyton Manning, franchise changer. When you looked at Von Miller, potential franchise changer, right? I think you have Stroud. I think you have Young. I think you have Will Anderson. I think you have 3 franchise changers next year. And I think that these
we got 4 because the other name that's coming out next year is Is Jackson Smith Njiba, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. He
Yes.
exploded.
Hyphenated name, right?
Yeah, Smith Njiba.
Yes.
Njigba, sorry.
And Boutee, Boutee. If you look at next year's mocks, Boutee or QT, he's there. He's like top 5 in most of 2023 mock drafts if you look at it.
Interesting. What position does he play?
Jackson Boutee.
Trying to find him.
Go ahead, talk about something. I'll look it up.
I think next year is gonna like next year's list of players that are gonna be available. Like it's one of those things where I'm very, very, very happy that the Jets, I think, we're gonna be picking in the middle teens, right? I think that's where we're gonna be picking.
I think we're gonna be between 11 and 16 next year. I think that's a good jump for us. Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a little higher, but I'm a little bit of a homer there. But like the thing is like you gotta look at like the talent next year is going to be so good. And I think next year we're gonna see a lot of QB needy teams. A lot of QB needy teams. Because you're gonna see Bryce Young,
Marcus
CJ Stroud,
Will Anderson.
The kid out of Florida might get some attention next year, maybe. The kid out of Miami might get some attention next year in the quarterback room. And like I believe in Slovis because he transferred to Pitt, so I want to see what he can maybe come up. Maybe he has a Kenny Pickett style year.
Okay. You got Miles Murphy from Clemson, Jalen Carter, D tackle from Georgia, Bijan Robinson, a running back from Texas, Kelly Ringo, cornerback from Georgia, Noah Sewell, linebacker.
That's Penny's brother.
Clemson. Yeah, that's the top 10. Nolan Smith, an edge from Georgia, is there next year.
Ojulari's brother comes out next year too.
Who is it?
Aziz Ojulari. I think he went to.
Oh, he was the Georgia edge last year. He went to the Giants.
Did he go to the Giants? Yeah, Aziz's brother is coming out this year.
I'm missing the name. Like this mock doesn't have it.
It's
maybe he's an underclassman and they don't have him in here.
Not sure.
That could be why.
Oh, I forget that DJ Uwangalele is also going to be coming out next year. The Clemson quarterback. So many Spencer Rattler. Oh, there's so many guys that can come out next year that are going to be
next year. That's why teams like Seattle are taking an offensive lineman now. So next year you're built and you're stacked to add this guy.
It's gonna be a good class.
And in draftcountdown.com, the top picks are Bryce Young from Alabama, Will Anderson from Alabama, Bijan Robinson, running back from Texas, and number 4 is Kayshon Boutte, Boutte from LSU.
What does he play?
Wide receiver.
Interesting.
Brian Breesy from Clemson, Miles Murphy from Clemson, tight end Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. 3rd Clemson. Actually, there's 4 Clemson players next year.
Clemson's going to have a draft next year. If Uwangalele can really step in and fill that shoes.
Quarterback.
Ooh.
And then at 11, you have Trenton Simpson, linebacker from Clemson.
There's a lot of
not that I'm looking ahead to next year, but
well, I
think next year is a better year to be bad. I think next year is a better year to be bad than this year was.
Yes. Yeah. I don't actually. I look at it and go, next year might be a good year to be middle of the pack because so many players are going to fall because quarterbacks are. We're going to go right back to a year where we're going to have 5 quarterbacks in the top 10.
Yeah, so you're going to get positional value falling to 9, 10, 11, 12.
You're going to get number 1, number 2, number 3 ranked guys being taken 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 because of the fact that like so many quarterbacks are going to go.
Valid.
It's a good draft, man.
They'll keep pick a few elimination and also sign Matt Breida. Yeah, I mean, Matt, I'm going to give your Giants credit, buddy. I think they had a very, very well-planned, tactical approach to this offseason, and that's with your new head coach and your new GM. I think that the New York Giants are very similar to the New York Jets. I think you have a good GM in place. I think you have a guy that's not going to overspend. I think you have a guy that's going to be tactical. I think you have a guy that will build a team the right way. I don't see somebody taking running backs in the top 2. And I'm not shitting on you. I'm just saying your previous GM did not draft well with taking Tony, with Daniel Jones, with taking Andrew Thomas of the first of those 4 tackles. I think you have a guy in position right now and a coach that they're going to build your team the right way. And if you look at the New York Giants throughout their history, they can get after the quarterback. They protect the quarterback. They might not be the most explosive offense in the NFL, but they are a well-constructed team that can battle and fight in the trenches. And that's always been the New York Giants as far back. I was born in 1978. I started remembering football in 85. I think that's a team that needs to get back to their roots. You won Super Bowls with Phil Simms, Jeff Hostetler, and Eli Manning. None of those guys are top 10 quarterbacks of all time, but I think they've had fantastic rosters around them and have allowed them to play at a level higher than what they actually are. So,
and one thing to add to that is like to talk about the GM is I think you've got a GM in Schoen who gives absolutely zero F's about anybody's opinions, about anybody who's in that building. He doesn't care. He's like, my thing that I need to do is make the Giants respectable again. And I think one of the things, like, these are moves that I don't necessarily agree with, but like, it just goes to show how committed he is like the Kadarius Toney situation. Tony comes in, has all the character concerns, and Schoen's just like, dude, you weren't my draft pick. I do not care about you as a player. If you're not going to be adding to this culture and to what we're trying to do here in New York, I'll send you for free. I'll send you for a 6th round draft pick.
Now, Tito, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who's that remind you of? Who's that remind you of? We're both wearing the gear right now. What did he do with Jamal Adams?
Yeah.
That's Joe Douglas.
Yeah, it does.
Listen, I got my plan.
Yeah, I'm going to follow it.
Fuck your thoughts. Fuck your ideas.
Fuck your rankings.
We're going to run this my way. If you don't like it, get rid of us. But if you stick with us for 5-6 years, we're going to turn this.
Watch us come.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
well,
one of
don't
those
say
things.
that. That's what she said.
But like, it's one of those things where it's just like, if you would have asked anybody and said, hey, we're going to turn Jamal Adams and Sam Darnold into Elijah Vera Tucker, Jermaine Johnson, and Garrett Wilson. Yeah, no, you're full of crap. We turned 2 players into potentially 4 starters because we also have to take into consideration the pick at 38, which is Carolina's pick. We're going to turn 2 players into 4 perennial all-stars, like Pro Bowlers for this team. And I really like Schoen, the hiring there. I like Dable. I really like him there.
I really like it too. And I've never been a Giant hater.
Me neither.
I have never
been the NFC. Why should we?
Giant hater. I root for the Giants. And the only thing the Giants, we play each other once every 4 years.
It's the only time I root against the Giants.
If you grow up and you're in New Jersey like I am, and you have family members and people that you grow up with and friends who it's a friendly little rivalry of what our records are.
That's some of my favorite memories. Yeah. I used to live in New Jersey. I used to live in Newark and like Kearney in that area, like real like upstate. And like, it was some of my favorite memories is at elementary school is like on Mondays or on Fridays is coming to school, like in your Jets or Giants jersey. Yeah. And it's just ribbing on each other. Cause back in the, like, again, in my early life in the early 2000s, the Giants and the Jets were both like relatively good franchises. Those were like,
you want to hear some sad shit?
What's that?
I was born October 78. in October of 1992, my freshman year of high school, I turned 14. I got a Blair Thomas jersey for my birthday, and I wore it to school every goddamn fucking Monday. And you know what? When my senior year was,
When's that?
Keyshawn Johnson was a rookie, and I wore that jersey to school every goddamn Monday, and I got slayed. And you know what? After that season was over, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a Jet fan for life. Because if I survive the cruelty and the brutality of high school kids in the 90s roasting me, I can survive anything, man. I'm a Jet fan for life.
I can survive a butt fumble.
Yeah, I survived a butt fumble. I was so drunk, I don't even remember the butt fumble. I was talking to the guys that I was with. I was like, listen, this is the strip club we're going to in about 10 minutes.
The 3 jerseys I had growing up were, like the first jersey I remember having was a Curtis Martin jersey. Obviously, I'm ordering a new one of those.
So you are, let me guess, you're 27 or 28?
26.
26. Okay.
So that was the first
close.
jersey.
I was in the
Yeah,
ballpark.
you were right
I was
there.
in the ballpark.
Was a Curtis Martin jersey.
Okay.
And then I never ever, and I was so sad I wasn't able to, when I was a kid, like when he was on the team, I never got a Wayne Corbett jersey. Because he's my favorite Jet of all time.
My favorite Jet, and I never had his jersey.
He's my favorite Jet of all time.
Never had his jersey, and he's my favorite Jet ever.
The 2 jerseys, and I still have, my parents still have one of these jerseys. I loved when Vinny was on the team. Vinny was one of my favorite Jets. And then when we drafted Chad, I loved Chad. I still have my Chad Pennington jersey, like my youth size Chad Pennington. The number is faded. I wore it 4 or 5 days out of the week. My parents had to rip it off of me to like clean it. I wore that thing.
That's good stuff.
I loved
that's awesome.
And that was it. And it's really cool because there's a store by here that they do like signed jerseys and stuff like that. And I told my wife, I was like, yo, after the baby gets here and after things calm down and all of that stuff, one of the things that I am definitely going to go get is they have a signed Chad Pennington jersey in that store, like authenticated, and I'm like, I'm getting that. It's like $350, and I'm just like, that's nothing for like one of my favorite Jets of all time.
We're just not gonna get the baby diapers for 2 months.
Yeah, like I said, once we're, because I'm in Florida, it's one of the reasons why I started this my YouTube channel was because like when we moved down to Florida, I lost the ability to talk football with other Jets people. And it's one of the reasons I started the channel was so I could talk Jets with other, Jets fans. And so who's going to come to Florida in the middle of a town and go buy a Chad Pennington jersey from this store? Nobody. It'll be there for like 6 or 7 months.
You know what? With the boom of DirecTV, with the boom of the internet, with the boom of social media, you're not in your market anymore, right?
I'm a Maple Leafs fan when it comes to hockey. Like it's like
I don't speak Swedish. I don't watch hockey at all. So
it's just like, but it's it's like because you don't like it's so easy to get these games now.
Yeah.
I can watch the Mets game
the
every
MLB
day.
ticket, you get the NFL Sunday ticket, you get all these guys, and you have when I was growing up in the 80s, you watched the Jets at 1, the Giants at 4. Sometimes you got the 49ers in the 80s, and they would be like the national game. And then you watch like my first jersey that I ever had was Lynn Swan. My uncle got me a Lynn Swan. I was born in 78. This is when they were good. And there's a picture of me as a little kid with a large Steelers helmet on with styrofoam on the inside. And like there was no protection. Like you ran into a wall, you got a concussion. Like it was hard styrofoam. My second jersey, it was the worst. It was the worst. That's why 80s babies are so fucked up.
So I stopped playing football. Those helmets, man. Those like high school helmets. I was a quarterback, and I was short. Like I'm 5'10", 5'0", like, and so like I knew I wasn't gonna like. And so the high school that I went to is actually the high school that Matt Milano, Clinton Dix, and there's one other player that's in the NFL right now. They all were there. Clinton Dix left as I came into that school, but Matt Milano was there when I was playing, and he ended my NFL, like my football career. I was playing football. I was on the freshman team, and they were playing freshmen as a practice team for JV, and Matt Milano was on that JV team, and he came running up the middle, and I didn't see him, and took my head clean off, and I was like, "This is yours. I'm out of here." And I walked off, and I never came back.
Mama, reaching out for him.
I was seeing double, and he ended my career, and I didn't realize it was the same person. I was like, "Oh, look, it's like the same name." I didn't realize it was him until last year. I was like, "Oh my God, is that?" Like, because I didn't know him by a first name basis. I just knew him because he ended my career. Like, it was just like, took my head off. It's insane.
Not
Dr.
nice
Phillips High School.
but nice that you got a good story out of it. I'm going to tell you, Matt is from the same town that I'm from, in Woodbridge, New Jersey. And Eric LeGrand. You know Eric LeGrand. Everyone in the country knows Eric LeGrand. He went to Rutgers. He got paralyzed. He grew up in the same town here. I went to Colonial High School. I graduated in 96. He went to Colonial High School, graduated in 92 or 01. I forget the year. And then, unfortunately, he had that accident at the Meadowlands, and he got paralyzed. But whenever you mention our town, and now he's got Eric LeGrand Coffee. It's at the Rutgers home games. He's got two stores in town here. One's right across the street from me. I can hit it with a football with where he's at. And it's kind of crazy how you never know what happens to you as a kid. Like when my son in 4th grade or 5th grade merged over with Port Reading in town, we walk into the room and Eric LeGrand played Pop Warner football there, and his jersey is up on the wall, like retired, and no one can wear number 30 at over there at Port Reading. So it's kind of crazy that little stories of growing up turn into like lifelong memories.
Another player, and he's actually currently a Jet, and I didn't know that he went to the same high school that I did until I had to look him up when we signed him up. That's is Marcel Harris.
Oh yeah,
the linebacker we just brought in from the 49ers.
Yep,
he went to my school. He's a year older than I am.
Played 42 games for Salah, right? If I remember correctly.
I have no.
He just got signed 10 days ago. He just got signed like 10 days ago.
Like a few days ago. Again, it was one of those things where when I went to go look him up, I saw that he was from Orlando, Florida. I was like, wait, he's like a year older than I am. If he's from Orlando, he played in Orange County. What school did he go to? Looked it up. He went to Dr. Phillips, and yeah, he was at my high school. Well, I went to 5 high schools, so my freshman year was at Dr. Phillips. And so,
stop fighting, man. You gotta stop getting expelled. You gotta learn how to get along.
It was just moving.
I'm kidding you. I'm fucking with you.
I did get into one fight, and I broke the kid's nose, and I didn't get suspended.
Nice. All right, you should have fought more then. Maybe mom and dad would have kept you there. Like he's starting to make friends.
But yeah, that was again. It's one of those, like, it's a small world kind of a situation.
Yes.
100%. A couple of my buddies, Gronk went to their high school.
Okay.
It's just it's crazy when you look at like these guys, like what they become in their careers and all that stuff, and their trajectory in life, and it's crazy to think about.
I love it. Hey, listen, it is 3:30. Yeah. I'm gonna head down. A couple of my buddies who do Chop Sports. If you search Chop Sports Media, I'll be on their show tomorrow. I'm gonna dial in. They're gonna they got over 1,000 YouTube viewers. They got a good following. I've been a part of them since they were like 25 Facebook members, and now they're like 26.
I've seen their stuff before.
Yeah, that's my friends Dave and Chris. Chris started it in October of 2020, and he was like, "I'm so sick and tired of politics and like mask debates." He's like, "I need a sports group," and then it grew and it grew and got bigger, and now they're doing a lot of good stuff. So those are my friends. I'm going to be on there tomorrow to do a Jets draft review and then talk some other shit. So I got to go to bed. That starts at 11. And I usually need like 10 hours of sleep. So I'm going to be dragging ass tomorrow.
Hey, Joey Theismann. That's a great one.
Yeah. Pre-knee snap.
Yeah.
Pre-knee snap.
Yeah.
Drew Pearson, Joe Theismann. They had another one. But yeah, good show. I thank Jeremy for joining. I thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
I've been telling people that we got a good group of up and coming Jets content providers. Adam Y2K, me, you, Buffalo Jet fan, Iowan Jet fan, Jeremy. We got a good group of people with a lot of good opinions and a lot of good discussion points that we can cover. I thank everyone that joined tonight. I think those that watch it in the future. I think Matt, our resident Giant fan. Matt, I'll show you respect, and every time you're here, I will honestly discuss the Giants. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you. I will probably pop on tomorrow afternoon, probably around 3-4 o'clock again. Do a little preview of what I think the Jets will do tomorrow night. Do you have any shows popping up tomorrow? What's your work schedule like?
For me, I'm just gonna hang out. I'm probably gonna do one of the videos that I'm gonna do probably when I get off of here and like edit it and upload it just to have it ready for tomorrow morning. Okay. Is I want to do a deep dive on the Jets secondary now that we've addressed now that we've drafted Ahmad Gardner and the moves and the flexibility that we have. So I want to do a deep dive on that. And then really tomorrow, the only plan is Jeremy's show whenever he goes live is hopping into that one. Like I said, I'm still trying to, I don't think I'm at a position where, I don't know. I feel like I should do the live shows. It's a weird place where it's like, I want to do the live shows, but like, will anybody show up for the live shows? It's a weird place to be.
Let me throw this info at you. Let me give you my feedback. Do what I did. I popped on with Jeremy. I popped on with CJ with Weapons Hot. And I started to have people in the comment section enjoy my content, enjoy my takes, and ask. And I think you're getting there as well, too. Like, that's my feedback from what I see. Like, your comments on our show and then joining mine and his. We have a really good group of followers, and they're very loyal, and then they're consistent, and then they will pop channel to channel. Hop on with me tomorrow. You'll hop on with Jeremy tomorrow night. And then after the draft, when everybody's fiending for Jets takes and data, start going live on your own. Have me on, have Jeremy on, have Buffalo Jet fan on, have everyone that you've made connections with join you, and their fan base will come over to you. And then you're in a position where now you're talking to people you've spoken to, because the main group of characters that go channel to channel are diehard Jets fans who are just salivating at more Jet content. So it's a really good stepping stone for you to get your feet wet with us, attach those chains to your ship, and then bring them with you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's kind of been the secret, not really that secret, but like the plan has always been like, if I can get in on that, and like you start like seeing like a lot of those names like coming up all the time, you know, Iowan is always in the stuff. Yep. And you know, you see some of these
Buffalo Jet fan has blown up.
Yeah. Buffalo Jet fan. I love his stuff.
In the beginning of March, I had like 75 viewers. Jeremy had like 250. And then somebody shared Buffalo Jet fans, one of his comedic videos, and now he's like at 580. And he's jumped up 300 something subs. You know, I'm small potatoes still. I admit that, but having people like Jeremy, have you come on, you're starting to see people pop over from channel to channel, and once they like your content, they'll share it. They'll tell their friends, "Hey, you watch that stuff? Come watch these guys. They know what they're talking about. There's no bullshit. There's no drama. They're just just good-hearted Jets fans talking Jet football.
Yeah.
And you'll see your channel start to grow. I've grown 25 in a week and a half.
I started this channel. I started it maybe, I think it was like it was right before the whole Tyreek Hill thing happened. Whenever that was, right?
Okay.
That was the Tyreek Hill video was my first video, like Jets related video. It was the day
I saw that. Yeah.
that happened. That was my first video. And in that
Okay.
time of just doing my things, doing my stuff, of just organically, you know, just gain subscribers. I'm at 27 subs, and I'm really happy with that number, you know. And
I'm 48 right now. I'm like I said, small potatoes, but you get on a stream, you talk somebody that knows what else they're talking. Some people hop in. The guy that one is in here earlier. 3:00 this afternoon. He's like, I just Googled or on YouTube. He's like, I searched Jets live now. And he's like, I found your channel. And he's like, within 5 minutes, I knew you were talking about it, and I loved it. And he's like, and then he popped in again tonight. So my best advice is get your content out there as much as you can. Live videos are better than pre-taped. Once you start to get people watching you and you have the subs and they sign up for alerts, you can pump out short videos that are pre-taped. But to be honest, man, live videos, live chat,
it's a whole different dimension. It was one of those things where
it's a lot better.
It was like yesterday, I think, was my first live show. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday was my first live show. And you see the immediate interaction that you can have, and that's just a whole different thing. I like
it
that
helps
a
your
lot.
Stream because, like I said, if I'm talking to nobody, I don't know how it's going. But when I'm talking, and then all of a sudden I see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like I did today at 3:00, and people are putting comments in. All right, now I know I got something. Now I know I'm delivering. Now I know that people are absorbing what I'm putting out there. You get I don't want to say instant gratification because I think that sounds cheap, but you have instant
feedback.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like doing comedy. You stand up there, if they know it, if
you
they think it's funny, they laugh.
You know it's working.
Yeah.
100%. So I would say get live as much as you can. I've hesitated to do it because I was afraid of failure. And then after being on Jeremy's channel and then other people's channel, I'm starting to feel confident putting my shit out there live because I know I can hold my own in conversation. I think it's a very good, it's just fun.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
I don't even have to get paid to do the shit. I know people always talk about getting to 1,000 subs, and I know people talk about the gratification of monetizing YouTube.
Is that what that explains it? I didn't even know that. It's like I said, like my thing is like, I didn't do this for the money. I got a great job. You know what I mean? Like I love what I do. And my thing is I just want to talk. That's it.
I'm 43 years old, bro. Like I've been talking Jets football in bars, at work, at people at Quick Check. Like I don't give a fuck. I'll talk Jets football anytime, anywhere. People see me my Jet stuff and they're like, "Yo, bro, what do you think?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'll put my alcohol down. I'll put my Quick Check stuff down." I'll be like, "How much time you got?" And
when I walk out and like people see me and like my wife hates it. I was like, "You can get a chair. We're gonna be here a while because this is I found one. This is Waldo. I found Waldo."
So keep doing it, man. Like if you enjoy talking it, and I can tell you do, just stick with it. Network, get together with the other Jet content providers, and strike up conversation whenever you can. You know, the draft happened. You can have, you know, we're going on 2 hours with our show, and we started at 1:00 in the morning. You know what? Find somebody. Be like, hey, you want to come on? You want to talk Jets with me for 20 minutes? Hit him in the fucking face. Get him good content. Have good discussion points. Have people in the chat providing for you discussion points to go on top of it. And then drop out. And you know what? People will be like, yo, when are they going to talk Jets football again? That was a really good discussion. I want more of that. And that's how you get people to build up. You know, it always helps with Jeremy's got a good channel, Buffalo Jet Fan, Green Bean, all these other guys, Matt, Ryan O'Leary. They all got good stuff. So it's very hard to get to the people who like Jets 24/7 has 20,000 viewers.
It's
They
like
had like an
25K.
yeah. They basically had 2,000 viewers in average for most of the draft tonight between Green Bean, Matt O'Leary, and Ryan 24/7.
They hit 2,700 at one point. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what?
It's good for them. Like, I'm
keep
super
pumping
happy
the
for them.
content out there, and you keep giving out good opinions, and you keep just giving people what they want to hear. They want to hear about their team. Like, I do IOW Sports Network. Matt knows that. Matt's a big part of that. But that's like generic sports. We talk like all sports topics. Now, the three of us that do it are Lions, Chiefs, and Jets fans. But if you provide people with specific sports content about their favorite team, I feel that they're more likely to follow that stream rather than generic sports talk. You know what I mean?
It's I can say that that's true because like I follow like, for example, I really like Brett Coleman and a guy that does a show called Strong Opinion Sports.
Okay.
And it took forever for me to subscribe to them because it was generic takes. And it's just like, even though they're very, very intelligent and I like the things that they're saying, very rarely did they ever talk Jets. So I didn't subscribe because I didn't want their content regularly.
Yeah.
Whenever I wanted to really, hey, there's this funny situation going on somewhere else and I want someone's opinion on it that's very intelligent, I'll go search for them. But Jets Central was the first person I found. When I found it, I immediately subscribed.
Okay.
From Jets Central, I found Matt
I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah. I immediately subscribed to Matt. And then I saw Jets Talk 24/7. And then I saw Green Bean. And I immediately subscribed because it was talking about Jets. And that's what the content that I want is the Jets content. Yes. So yeah, definitely. It's all about, like I said, or like you've been saying, it's like, it's just getting out there and having those conversations. And it's like one of those things is like, yeah, I'm small beans, right? I got 27 subs. I'm happy in my 27 subs. But like, my thing is like, I've also only been doing this for like 2 weeks.
My advice is this. Don't worry about your subs.
Oh, I don't.
Worry about the content that you're putting out. Like I said, strike up good conversations. Get the chat involved. The chat will tell their other friends. Like, the greatest advice that I could give you is be you. Have the conversations that get the chat involved, and then word of mouth will help you more than anything, right? Like that's how it is with everything in life. Like, I don't even, my daughter tells me the subs that I have more than I look at it. And the only reason I know is because she's an 11-year-old girl who's fascinated, and my son at 13, they're fascinated with the amount of subscribers that people have because that's their generation. Me at 43, let's talk about the Jets. Let's talk about the Lions. Like, I'll talk football with anybody who wants to listen. And I think if you give me your ear for 5, 10, 20, 30, 45 minutes, I think with my takes on football, I have the ability to win you over. That's how the guy Yep got in here today. 5 minutes at 3 o'clock. He's like, bro, I don't even know who you are. He's like, but I heard you give your takes. And he's like, I'm a fan. He's like, you won me over instantaneously. So keep doing it. Keep getting into the live chat. Get the fans there. Get guys like me, Jeremy, Buffalo, Network. Those people will share, hey, I'm going on this show. This is the stream. Join. And only good things can happen because I'll say this and then I got to go to bed.
Yeah.
But Jets fans are hungry. They're hungry for a winner. They're hungry for content. They're hungry to connect with other Jets fans. I think we got a really good community that's been down for so many years. And I think we're just waiting to rise up. You know, New York football has been like that. When the Giants were winning, man, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing royal blue and white numbers, right? Like it was everywhere. You know, we got the Gotham green and the white numbers now. Me, I'm a logo guy. After we drafted and got rid of Jonathan Vilma, I was like, fuck this. I'm never buying a jersey again. I'm only going to support the name on the front. But yeah, man, keep doing your thing. I texted you on Twitter, my phone number. Shoot me a text. Hey, it's me. And I'm always willing and ready to talk Jets football, man. So
yeah,
whatever we could do to help one another and build each other up and rise up in the community, let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's kill it out there.
Good shit.
All right,
I thank everyone for joining. I thank everyone who watched. Thank you, everybody. Tigo, Jeremy, everyone else who joined. It was a good night. Go Jets. And let's enjoy the rest of the draft weekend.